Substitution with Tutor. Here are the beginner questions, some of the easier questions that you're likely to find on this topic. Substitution is the process of replacing variables, letters, in a formula or an expression with their corresponding numerical values. This is a fundamental skill in algebra and is widely used in solving equations, evaluating expressions, and applying mathematical formulas. A formula is a mathematical rule expressed using variables and constants. For example, L equals 9m plus 2n, where the variables or letters represent unknown or changing values, and the constants are fixed values. For example, if we were adding 2 to the end, this would represent a constant. For this question, we need to work out the value of L when m is equal to -3 and n is equal to 4. Firstly, we need to replace the variables with the given values. Always rewrite the formula, and each time you're replacing a variable, use a bracket. So replacing m with -3 and n with 4. These questions will often involve 2 or more marks, and by writing a substituted version of the formula down, we guarantee ourselves one of those marks, even if we then make mistakes which leads to an incorrect answer. Next, we'll perform calculations step by step, rewriting and focusing on each operation. 9 lots of -3 is -27, and then I'm adding 2 lots of 4, which is the same as adding 8. Lastly, I can simplify to give me the final answer. In this case, -27 plus 8 is -19. For the second question, the formula is h equals f minus 2g. We need to work out the value of h when f is equal to 10 and g is equal to -6. Rewrite the formula with the substituted values for the variables. H is equal to f, so using brackets, replace f with 10, minus 2 lots of brackets, g, which is replaced with -6. H is equal to 10, and I'm taking away 2 lots of -6, which is -12. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding, so my final answer will simplify to give me 10 plus 12, so h is equal to 22. On to the intermediate questions with an increase in difficulty. The formula is given as w equals 5x squared plus 3. We need to find w when x is equal to -3, replacing x with a bracket and -3 before squaring and adding 3. This is another common misconception or mistake. Where we have more than one operation to complete, we do need to consider BIDMAS, and we should be completing the brackets with the indices that I have before I complete the multiplication by 5. So starting off with -3 squared, -3 multiplied by -3 gives me +9. Another mistake is to confuse this with -3 squared. Without the brackets, BIDMAS would tell me to square my 3, which is 9, and then multiply through by -1, giving me -9. These two are not the same. In this case, for this question, I'm squaring -3, which will be positive. 5 lots of 9 is 45, and adding 3 to simplify my answer will leave me with 48. For the second question, this time I have an expression rather than a formula. Notice there's no equals. An expression represents a value made up of operations, letters, and constants. We'll tackle this in the same way, where we'll rewrite the expression but replace it using the given values. B is -5, which is being squared, and then I'm subtracting 4 lots of AC, so using brackets and replacing A with -8 and C with 2. Focusing on each operation, -5 squared, -5 multiplied by -5 is 25, and I'm subtracting 4 lots of -8 multiplied by 2, which is -16. 25 subtract 4 lots of -16, which is -64. And subtracting a negative will have the same impact as adding, giving me a simplified answer of 89. On to the advanced questions, some of the trickier questions that you're likely to find on this topic. They quite like using formulas that you're likely to see in other areas of mathematics, such as these scientific formulas, the Suvat equations. You may be familiar with these from physics. For the first question, u is equal to -3, a is equal to 2, and t is equal to 4. We need to work out the value of s, which is equal to ut plus a half at squared. Therefore, s is equal to -3 multiplied by 4 plus a half of 2 multiplied by 4 squared. S is equal to negative 3 multiplied by 4, which is negative 12. And then I'm adding a half of 2 multiplied by 4 squared, which is 16. S is equal to negative 12 plus a half of 2 lots of 16, which is 32. And S will be equal to negative 12 plus a half of 32, which is 16, which will simplify to give me negative 12 plus 16 and a final answer of 4. For the second question, we have a slightly different formula where S is equal to V squared minus U squared all over 2A. We need to work out the value of S when A is equal to negative 3, V is equal to 7, and U is equal to negative 5. S is equal to 7 squared, subtract negative 5 squared, all over 2 lots of negative 3. Begin simplifying. 7 squared is 49, and I'm subtracting negative 5 squared, which is 25, over 2 lots of negative 3, which is negative 6. 49 subtract 25 is 24, and 24 divided by negative 6 gives me a simplified answer of negative 4. Here's a question that I completed earlier. It appears as though I've made some mistakes. Pause the video and see if you can spot what they are before writing some corrections in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. If you found that video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. If you're struggling with topics or finding maths difficult, subscribe and turn on notifications to receive regular updates about new video tutorials and other useful content. You can visit and follow all of my socials by clicking the links in the description below.